Good morning, friends. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing great and had a safe trading week. I know I did. I took a couple of trades on Thursday, and that was about it. I did want to take a trade today. Absolutely, I did. And when I woke up, she was already gone. So I just sat it out. It's tough to do when you first enter the arena, but eventually it gets easier and you'll become, because these setups will fly by many times per day, you'll become really picky and choosy with what you engage with. So let's check out what happened for the week. And we have closed, and I had a bearish bias this week. I wanted to see us rise up into that wick annotated above the market here. I'm just turning these red. So this wick here was where I was looking for a top at one of these levels. Now Wednesday, hilarious enough, hit that, spiked through a bit, found sensitivity. Thursday gives another high. That was so wild. We'll get into the lower time frames in a minute. But just take an appreciation for the amount of precision that we're getting here in a weekly chart. As far as I only had one annotation on my chart, and aiming for this old week opening gap somewhere down here, or it was a old day opening gap. And yeah, so let's take a peeky poo on our daily chart. This one will make a little more sense. So at the beginning of the week, the bearish bias was, as long as we stayed below the upper quarter of this specific wick here, I would let price action wiggle all around in here all it wanted. So when I came back to the public posting, I was mentioning, like, look, I just want to bully price around. I want to help regain some confidence within my friends and just analyze what kind of information we're given within these next few weeks, because that's going to determine our outlook for the winter months. And personally, I would like to see price down in these lows before another higher high in a macro trend. This is something that people can't do. They don't understand higher time frame trends, so they think that every fluctuation in price determines the outcome of every single candle there forward. Meaning, when red candles are present and it's dumping, people will continue to say it's going to dump forever when it's likely going to reverse at some point, right? So it's the same thing when you're going up. But anyway, the fact that we went up so high and then slammed down, I'm actually really, really happy with what happened here. Even though it's not our classic open, low, high, close profile for the week. I mean, you could argue and say it is, and, I wouldn't totally disagree with you. But no, I wouldn't say so. I'd say if it was, it's very unorganized. And I would even go one step further and say we're going to gap open below the market next week. So we'll see what happens there. Now, when we start pumping up into the premium, remember, I have a bearish bias. I'm not bullish, at least short term. Like long term, I'm bullish, but I want to see a dip before we rip. So I would permit price to come into a premium market. I wouldn't say, oh, that's buying pressure and we go up now. Look at this big bullish engulfing candle. Well, everybody else who's looking at that as a bullish engulfing candle got wiped off the map today. In bragging rights aside, when I am looking for lower repricing. So the best place, as I was mentioning in last night's update, to sell short is above old highs. Where did we end up today? So get your hands dirty, study, put in the work, stop trading so much, and study more and more. So this one here, and admittingly, this was totally cherry picked. I didn't have this on my chart at all up until I think yesterday when we made the top. But really, is it cherry picked? It's a fair value gap that's above the market and a premium. So it's not like it's like some hidden gap that we busted from the 2 hour chart and had to drag over. Like it's there. It's available. It's the one available. So that's the one that we would elect to use. So last night in the update, I was mentioning I would permit price to come up into here, but I want to see it sink. And if we flipped the midway point of that, which happened to be the top of that wick from the week, that I would be offside likely, and we would just keep ripping. Well, holy moly, as luck would have it, and I say that with tongue in cheek, Friday dumps and right back into the indigo bullish order block. So very cool. I like what happened here. So now let's go into a 15-minute chart. Personally, what I was looking for was a classic open, low, high close. That's not classic. This is seek and destroy. Okay, and this is kind of a bullish because we didn't take that low from Monday. This is kind of like a bullish pattern. I don't even know. You call it what you want, okay? It's seek and destroy. Just note that Thursday, Bitcoin traded lower after poking that high, and NASDAQ traded higher. And then as a result, they both tanked. So that was pretty cool, in my opinion. Yeah, they both tanked. That was awesome. So there's divergence between these two assets. NASDAQ did not take the low, and Bitcoin did take the low. About there. So you can see how Bitcoin has taken the low and NASDAQ has failed to take the low. So there's SMT divergence between these two. I find the SMT between these two a lot more sensitive and a lot less false signals than using ES or the YM. So just something for you to study. And remember yesterday I was mentioning if these two assets don't agree for a day, pay attention to what happens when they do agree. Well, son of a gun, they both tanked right at the same time. See ya. So there you go. Some forward testing for you. But anywho, just back to the profile hunting. At the beginning of the week, I was mentioning that I would like to see a top of the week at one of these levels, and then I start working toward it. Now, the timing was horrible. Absolutely horrible. We didn't actually see the level until Wednesday. I would have rather have seen that Monday or Tuesday. And again, Bitcoin not running back up and NASDAQ running back up. That was totally lame. So these are the kind of things that might catch you off guard and psychologically, I don't know, trip you up for the moment. But you got to remember that there's another trading day the following day. A lot of my friends are like, think that it's the last trading day ever and you'd feel like you got to push it. Man, that's so backwards. And then like I used to be there too, and I know what you're going through. But when you have an expectation on the market and it's not quite met, you can still be profitable. You can be offside as long as you're following a model. But that means you're not chasing price. You're being very patient, and there's certain times you can trade and your model's really high probability. You got to be journaling these times that your model delivers, on what days, on what Fed folders, on what weeks of the month, on what months of the year. These are the things you're journaling. If you don't, you're missing it. So this was week 1 of 3 of bullying price around and not looking for big giant home runs. Now, admittingly, I was looking for, if they were to materialize and I was able to get in sync with that move, then I would put up some risk. Well, Thursday had some range. I was profitable and my trades are up. And Friday, I wasn't able, I just didn't care. Like, it wasn't up here in buy side liquidity above the open for me to want to short. That's kind of my deal breaker. It's got to be near the open, at least. And midnight just opened up, and that London kill zone found the high of the day. And then boom, and then New York, the continuation. My students will confirm. When I woke up at maybe 10 after or so, so it's at 8 in New York, because I'm 3 hours behind. I woke up, I seen us hit the 1/3 ADR for the London run. I went back to bed. I'm like, I'm not interested. And even though it dumped in my direction, still not interested. Don't even care. No FOMO. No, I missed out on this move. Don't even care. My model, this is not my model. This is a delayed protraction profile. This is not a profile that I typically enjoy, because I know many of you were trying to long this. The guys on Tradeify TV were trying to long this while my student who was featured was telling them that it was going to go down. And then it sunk. And then the lady, God bless her soul, tried longing several times. And then they called ICT controversial. Well, yeah, of course. Military grade models and setups, time-based, when you know they're going to print or not. Yeah, of course that's controversial when you're running a prop firm. Hilarious. Anyway, bearish bias still intact, at least for now. I would like to see a little rise up Monday, but we'll go through that on Sunday when we open. Just wanted to do a weekly review and just, show you guys when you're in a state of bullying price around and you're not looking for every little thing, you're not making excuses to want to get into a trade. When you get into that state of mind, all of a sudden the setups just kind of fall on your lap. Or they don't. But overall, what I wanted to see kind of materialized just at the wrong times, because it was a different profile in the week materializing. And it's not that it's not a classic profile. Okay, it's just a freak, and it's not an organized profile in a sense that we're looking for dynamic expansions, right? Mentally prepare for NFP with a banking holiday next week. Rules change next week, all right? So this is week 1 of bullying price around and just getting comfortable, practicing losing, practicing being offside, looking for our model that would maybe go the other direction. So like, for example, Thursday is a beautiful example of that. If somebody was looking for a short here, which I totally was, closed at 106 ticks there when it bounced off the lower quadrant of this rejection block here, that was my trade from there to there, and that's it. Okay, once it found sensitivity here and didn't start running down, I was like, so I closed it. So if you're offside, well, what ended up happening was we took that swing high to continue the uptrend. And then, of course, you're going to make a higher low in the trend. So stop panicking when candles come against you. Wink, wink. And then you use your mitigation block there. And that was like the most military grade entry there. And that was kind of in the macro. And look, you know what? The entry was great, but the timing was really lame. And in this London closed kill zone here, could have sought out a reversal. So this is, Bitcoin went down and NASDAQ didn't, in my opinion, and I was looking for it to drop hard. But anyway, just being offside and still going, oh, okay, well, it went up. Okay, now it took structure again. Holy moly, it's still in an uptrend. What did it leave in the uptrend? A fair value gap. There's your mitigation block. Again, these are 2 different types of mitigation blocks. That one there, because it didn't come down and take liquidity. Okay, so this is the difference. If price action would have taken liquidity, these equal lows down here, then snapped up, that would be your breaker. Okay, so that's the difference. And then your other type are these two little Tetris pieces right here. So go study those. But either way, beautiful for another, even just a little scalp up into there. Like, I know a lot of you got hurt here. I've seen messages. I see you disappear. I notice when you don't message me anymore, I get sad. Because I can see it in the charts when you're hurting yourself. But when you're messaging me, hey, I lost my 2 trades that I permitted myself to take, or I'm at my daily loss limit, that's the more impressive thing. Don't think that making thousands of dollars in a trade is impressive. It's not. That's gone. Like, that's not even anything anymore. I want to know how you're losing properly. So, anywho, let's go back into the week. Just note the close. We're still above this down close candle. Really annoying. And we haven't even bothered to run for event horizon. In the case that we just open up and start dumping, I'll be aggressively looking for the bottom at the beginning of the week, Bitcoin included. Bitcoin's just fell shy of my targets too. It's just totally rude, but yeah, we'll go from there. Hey, what's up, everybody? Indeed. Good morning, friends. Shout out. What's up, Staz? Chris, Rick, Last Lap, Timmy. What's up, Sam? Sam Eaton. Yeah, I seen you in the chat today. Nice. I also shorted. Caught for it. Dude, my wife is a freak. She caught this whole range. She just went wham and closed at the end of the day. She's just a nut job. She takes like 2 or 3 trades a year and just murders it. And it's crazy. Kilo, do you hear that? My wife takes 2 or 3 trades a year and murders it. Winter should be a lot more fun. I agree. We're ending the end of this cycle, and this is where things kind of get bananas. We need a dip. We need a dip for the higher time frame trend. That's not a bad thing. It's really good. Hey, what's up, Staz? Yes, indeed. Tim has a very good continuation pattern. Oh, 1 minute, Tim. It looks like Tim from here. 1 minute has a very good continuation pattern after open. Yeah. Ryan crushed it on the live. He did. He did, man. That was pretty impressive. And he was nervous, but yeah, still killed it. BTC was annoying today. Yeah. Yeah. So next week, NFP, Sunday at open, we're going to hang out again. And we'll give you some rules, and this will be something for you guys to just be hunting for throughout the week. God bless you all. I hope you had a great week and have a great weekend. See you soon.